Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then what I'll do is I'll email it to you later. All right, then, my lovely. So this says to me that you're doing too much, that you're not very good at delegating, and you need to simplify your life. And because you've got fingers in so many different pies, it's like you flitter from one thing to the other. Instead of concentrating on one thing, get that sorted, then do another one. Now, I would suggest as well doing like a list of priorities, you know, and I do them, I stick them on the fridge and what have you. It's really good because this one here is with everything coming in, as you can see it, it's like it's bombarding you. Now, there's two things that are dead wood. So there's two things that you need to forget about, remove, or put them on the back burner, and then concentrate on at least another three things, possibly, maybe two, because they've got flowers on them, and that says to, you know, about it being more prosperity. I'm also seeing a connection to do with Scotland. Now, it's either Scotland or not Outer Hebrides or somewhere like that. It feels Englandish. It feels like it's got a lot of water and it's an island and that around it. You can see why that there. And it's like you've left something behind, or that you want to retrieve something or want to go to, or something like that, to Scotland. So does Scotland resonate with you or not?
Not really at the moment.
No, okay, that's fine. It might be that that's to do with the future, I don't know. But to me, it's almost like I'm looking at the Lake District, because there's a great big lake and there's an island in the middle and what have you with that there. And sometimes with this, it might not mean anything now, but it could do in the future. Yep, okay. Now, this says here, again, that you're jiggling too much. And you're getting stressed, you're getting anxious, and you're trying to throw all your balls up in the air, a bit like the first one. Sorry, that one there. Yeah. And it's like you've got to let go and allow other people to help you, allow other people to step in, ask for help. Don't be stubborn. Don't think that you can control everything. I don't know about your job and all that, but it's like stressing you two out. I'm also feeling that you're very much a perfectionist. And because you're a perfectionist, you like, most people can be, by the way, but it's because you then struggle to delegate and to then think that somebody else can do it as good as you. But your job, and I feel this is masculine energy, so it's to do with job and to do like with money and all this sort of thing, not to do with relationship. It's then causing you too much, what's the word? Not so much stress, but anxiety. Now, I don't know if you've been thinking about moving jobs, because I can see as well that you're standing on the hard rock, which normally is logical, but behind you is water. And water is to do with emotion. It's going with what you feel, not what you think. So with this, it's like what you're feeling is stronger than what you're thinking at the moment. And if you're not careful, that means that your emotions are going to run away with you. Your emotions then are possibly going to leave you into trouble. And it might mean that your job that you're in with now is so stressful that it's making you too emotional. You need to leave that, or lessen it, or maybe take on less responsibility and think of either another job in the same place or another job that's going to give you fulfillment. Because behind you, I can see there's a ship in a storm. And it's like you're floating around. You haven't got any anchorage. You haven't got any like stability, any sort of like, you feel that you're all over the place. And it's like stepping back and thinking, right, with my emotions all over the place, what do I do? So with my job, I want job satisfaction. Quite obviously, it's got to pay the bills, but it's about making quality rather than quantity. So your quality is having job satisfaction, less stressful, maybe less money, I don't know, and maybe, you know, sorting out things that you buy, I don't know, grocery or something like that, or less going out for meals or something like that. But you are on a collision course, if you're not careful, in this storm, banging. So this says to me as well that it's a warning for you to start taking stock of your life and you starting then to realise what's important. Yeah. With this as well, because of this in the middle here, I see that you have trouble talking. You talk, if you know what I mean, that somebody, you know, asks you something, but you hide a lot in, or you're very private. You don't let go of how you're really feeling. And I feel this is also because you're struggling, because you have trust issues. You don't know who you can then relax with and who you've got to have your guard up with. But you will know that intuitively by looking at their eyes. You'll know people that you can trust and people that you can't. Yeah. There's a celebration coming up in possibly June or July. Yeah. Now, I don't know if this is a party, if it's an engagement, but you've got mixed feelings about this because you're happy, but there's almost like a sadness. Now, it could be, I don't know, and because, you know, if I was this good, I'd get the lottery numbers, but it could be that you see somebody else getting engaged, you're happy for them, but then it brings you a little bit of sadness because you're looking from the outside in, thinking if only. Yeah, because if you look at that with you in the middle, I know it's got dark hair and you've got blonde hair, but it's like you're happy and you're celebrating, but it's like a yearning or like a sadness. And there's loads of flowers and that around. But if you also look behind you, can you see that great big waterfall? And water represents emotion, that there's a lot of emotion flowing through you and you need to let go of that. And it might even be that locally you find somebody that does healing, for instance, or you find some way to make a connection where you then feel relaxed, where you can do some meditation, you can go for walks. You need to do some healing and letting go of this emotion. It's like this waterfall this in your past, and let's be honest, I know that you're over 16, so no doubt in your past you've had problems with boyfriends or whatever, but this is it's not a little trickle, it's a great big waterfall, so it's a big issue. And you need to then not so much deal with it because it's history, but try and help yourself with the emotions attached to this catastrophe. I can't say it with my dyslexic, like this mega traumatic period, because you're not going to find true love that you then can relax with and feel content with unless you yourself can let go of the past feelings, not the past history, because what's happened, but the feelings connected to it. I feel also, because you're wearing a blue dress, blue is to do with communication, that you haven't told many people how you're truly feeling about what's happened in the past. It might be your ex, it might be something going on, I don't know if you're married or whatever, I don't know that, but it's like you're taking stock of your relationships and your love, and about loving yourself and feeling happy for you. But I do feel there's a lot of flowers around, so I feel it's going to be in the summer, maybe July-ish. I don't know, maybe August, end of June, I don't know. In the summer sometime, that one there. Yeah. Now this says to me that you're under attack. Now it could be, I don't know if it's to do with work, if it's to do with an ex, but you feel vulnerable at the minute. You feel like that you're being judged, and not that you've got a bit of bad luck, but things aren't going to not so much plan, because at the moment you feel it hectic, but it's almost as if something or someone is sabotaging you. Now I can see you, that you've got the purple dragon there, and it's on the video so you can see it. It's like you've got a lot of spiritual help around you, but you don't tap into it. And I don't know if you ground and protect yourself, I'm not too sure, because I see a lot of dark around your head. Your throat feels a bit dark. I don't know if you've got sinus trouble, I can see that. And I'm not about your makeup or anything like that. So
No,
I'm on about your energy.
Really bad hay fever, actually.
Oh, well, there you are then. That's what, and of course, with me doing healing, I can choose. And that is why I like to do it on my iPad, so I can see you, because it's like you're sitting in the room with me, you know, and that's why I like the connection, you know, with that there.
Yeah.
But with this, if you've got like hay fever, for instance, that means that can affect your third eye. It can also affect your crown chakra. So you're not being able to follow your intuition very much, even though you're feeling a bit emotional. But you have got this purple dragon. So in other words, purple to me is spiritual. I'm not sure how often and if you do use a pendulum. But certainly if you've got hay fever, you need to use a pendulum to ground and protect yourself and to ask angels for help. Ask them to then shield you from this psychic attack. But I feel as well, Soph, that some of this is jealousy related or envious. Now, I'm not pointing fingers. I don't know names or anything like that. But it's because I don't know with your job if it's competitive or if it's with an ex and he's now got a girlfriend or something like that. But they see you as a threat. They see you as somebody they want to be. So if you do know who it is, and we don't want to talk about it because on video, but if you do know who it is, if you can imagine and use your pendulum, imagine sending them pink. Because pink energy will bring in love, make them feel relaxed, make them feel safe so they don't attack you. Have you been having problems with your left, I mean, looking at your left shoulder here, where your ponytail is? Have you found that you've got a bit of stiffness and that there?
I don't know, really.
Right, sure. Okay, that's fine. That might be to do with psychic attack, you see. And that's why using a pendulum, you can clear it and you can send them love, you know, with pink, and also put the protection around you. And on my website, you've got how to use a pendulum, and you can use, I don't know, something on a chain if need be and what have you. But this one as well says to me that you've been having trouble sleeping. So if you notice that your dreams are a bit intermittent.
Yeah, that's true.
I know that's an open question, but I do need to get, okay. But I feel as well that your dreams are a bit restless and you're not having a good night's sleep. And I would suggest, I haven't got any near me, it's up in the healing room, but I would suggest some selenite, if you know what selenite looks like.
I've got selenite, yeah.
And put a little piece under your pillow. And that will help. It'll help with your hay fever and help you sleep. Yeah, and that's really good. And if you've got any salt lamps in your bedroom, leave the salt lamp on, because the salt lamp helps the energy. A lot of people at night time switch it off, don't, because that's when you're sleeping, that's when you're healing. If it's too bright, put the salt lamp on the floor, and then in the morning pick it back up again and put it on the side. But this is because you're under attack from people that don't, what's the word? They're not evil. They're not horrible in the sense that they're nasty people. It's just that I feel that they are vulnerable themselves, and they see you as a threat. They see that they want to be more like you. So it's almost as if, Sophie, you've got to be sorry for them. Yeah. Right. This says to me, if you can have a look at this one, that you've got many talents. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the many talents, because I can see loads of cups there. Can you see that they're empty cups? Now this, with this many talents, oh, by the way, I'm going to just see a bottle of wine. She's filling them up with wine, but I didn't see that first. So forget that one. Right, okay. To me, the empty cups is about that you've got a lot of skills and a lot of talent. Now, with you having these different empty cups, it could be, you've already mentioned that you've got a couple of crystals at home. It could be having more crystals in your bra, using crystal jewellery, using crystal. But I feel that you're very intuitive. I feel that you're very sensitive. I also can see you, and I know your energy at the moment is a bit flat, and because your hay fever is not going to help. But I see here with this one that you're very empathic. Now, empathic says to me that you're able to pick up on other people's feelings. You can walk into the office or walk into somebody's house and know they've had an argument. You'll know that they feel sad. You know that they feel angry. And this is, what's the word? An advantage, or it could be a curse, right? Because the thing is, if you don't protect yourself from people's energy by putting your gold bubble around you, you're going to then pick up on somebody's anger I think it's you when it isn't, it's them, because you're being sensitive. Now, I know that you've got a lot of talents, that you yourself could be doing what I'm doing now. You could do tarot cards, you could do angel cards. You've been very intuitive as a young girl, but I feel as a young girl, and may even be now, that sometimes you feel lonely. You feel as if you don't fit in. You feel as if, not that you're alien, but like some people don't understand you. And with this as well, I can sense that there's a lot of angels around you. You'll probably find as well, Sophie, that it's quite a nice warm day and you're shivering. And you think, oh, it's cold in here, put the heating on, whereas everybody else are warm. And that's because you've got a lot of angel energy. I know at the moment, because of your sinuses and what have you might not feel it. But again, ask for help. I can feel as well that you've got natural healing ability, because can you see all the fruit and that at the bottom?
Yeah.
So that means to me, because you've got like pineapple and also pumpkin and all that, and they've got a lot of seeds in them, that means that you can give out, because how to explain it? If you've got something with a lot of seeds, you just buy one thing and it produces a lot. So that means with you being one person, that you give out a lot to other people. So you'll probably find that strangers come up to you when you're going shopping or you're buying the petrol or something like that, and they tell you the problems. It's because your energy you give out. And again, you've got many talents that can help others, but you've got to help yourself first. Because behind you, I can see a fireplace. Now, a fireplace to me is like a void. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're standing in front of the fireplace, but logically, you wouldn't stand in front of a fireplace like this, really, would you? With a table. So that says to me that there's a chute behind you, which is a chimney, that you have often helped other people. You've then put yourself last. You then have not sacrificed yourself, that's the wrong word, but I don't know, maybe you wanted to watch a programme on television. You say, oh no, it's all right, I'll come around and help you, but you really wanted to do that. Often you've then have been selfless, that you've then always thought of others before yourself. Now that has got to stop. Yes, there's got to be an exchange, but I feel that you've got a few people, not a lot, but a few people around you that take advantage of your nice personality. And because of this, they expect you and they almost take it for granted that you're helping them. I know, oh, it's all right, Sophie will do that. I'll just give her a ring. I'll just say, oh, she'll do it. But they don't realise that you've got needs yourself. So you then, again, like I said earlier, it's like take a step back, work out what you want in life and how you can help yourself, get the angels and that to help you. Don't think that you are somebody else's servant. Because I hate to say this, I'm feeling here, because of this chute behind you, that sometimes, oh, bless you.
It's fine.
Oh, right, okay.
Sorry.
No, honestly, don't apologise.
Yeah.
That sometimes that you've been other people's doormat. Now, it's not that you're a pushover, because at work, you're not a pushover. But when it comes to friends or family, you give in too easily. And it's about standing up for yourself, standing up for your own 2 feet. And it's like you've got a dual personality, really, because you're good at what you do as work-wise, you've got confidence and, and even though it's maybe competitive and what have you, but when it comes to personal stuff, you don't stand up for yourself. Right, anything else on that one? Oh, I can see what you call it, a starfish. You probably can't see it. There, look.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and is that shells? Right, okay then. Quite obviously, a lot of people like to go to the seaside. A lot of people like to dabble, what's the word, dabble with the feet in their water. What do you call it? Paddle, dabble, paddle. But I feel if you can get a shell or a couple of shells for jewellery or in your bedroom, that will then give you extra energy. Because I don't know why, but do you have trouble with your legs? Do you have circulation problems? Do you have problems with your knees and your ankles and this sort of thing?
Maybe like circulation problems to my hands and my feet.
Right, okay. Because I feel that you have had a connection to do with Atlantis, in a previous lifetime. And I don't know if you believe in previous lives, because this to me is like you've got a problem with your legs,
Right.
almost as if you're like a mermaid. And you've got like circulation problems or something with your legs. And I don't know why looking at this here, but it's saying to me that if you've got like seashells or shell jewelry, it will then help you with circulation problems and help you with past life stuff. Have you got a problem with your left hip?
No.
Right, okay, just not think about it, but I've said it out loud.
Yeah.
And I'm not manifesting it.
Yeah.
But there's something about your left-hand side and about the past that you need to let go of to do with your left hip. Now, your knees and your hip could be to do with something that you're stubborn. Now, it's not necessarily to do with relationships. Relationships are often to do with the heart and the throat and maybe the solar plexus, but the hip and the knees is something to do with money. It's something to do with property. It's something to do with, I don't know, something not mechanical. What do you call it? Something, I know, like possessions or not a car or something. There's something about the past that you need to let go of. That's a bit wishy-washy, but something to do with your left hip. Okay, well, I've said it, and you can have a think about that one. I don't know if somebody owes you, you know, and they've taken more of a car or something to do with property and you've had to move out, or, you know, something to do with something logical rather than something emotional. Right, okay, we'll move on. Oh, have you been noticing? Oh, it's a bit tricky actually, because if you've got hay fever, you're going to get an itchy nose. But
yeah,
with this here, I can see there's a lot of angels around you, and with the butterfly. You've also got the swords, and they've been trying to make themselves known to you, because with the fairies, you see all the fairies around. Yeah, the fairies, often you'll recognise them because you'll get itchiness around the top of your mouth here and your nose, and your face will get itchy. And that's how they make yourself known to you. You haven't by any chance, and I know it's an open question, you haven't by any chance seen some orbs, or like pink ones or different coloured orbs floating around, or in your peripheral when you have a shower to the edges? Have you been noticing different colours around you, or flashes?
I do see that quite a lot. Anyway.
Right. Well, that is fairies.
Yeah.
So if you see flashes of light, because don't forget, this is our logical, where we analytical, logical, where like computer side, and this is our spiritual side on the outside. Yeah. So it's like they've been on the outside of you, because it's like you're one big fairy, which is the butterfly. They're on the outside trying to give you messages to come in. Now with fairies work with the angelic realm. They work with the unicorns, and also they're messengers, and they help with healing your auric field. Fairies often will go around your head area because we're giants, we're tall, and they feel, you know, that we could accidentally step on them. And apparently when you mow the lawn, you're supposed to, oh, my nose is going now, look. Yeah. You're supposed to say sorry to them before you mow the lawn. But with fairies as well, they're good at finding things. Now, I feel that you're not very good at asking for something for yourself, like manifesting. And I would suggest is writing down on a piece of paper what you would actually want. And this could be that you want, I don't know, okay, so you want a new lawnmower, but ideally you want it for nothing. And you manifest it, and you ask the fairies and the angels to find you a lawnmower, and you see on good old, I don't know if you're on Facebook, good old Facebook or whatever, and somebody's moving into a flat and they get rid of the lawnmower. Because people often will not manifest because they don't think they're worthy. So I'd write down on a piece of paper all the things that you want, and almost imagine that they've got them now. So I've got, you know, somebody that loves me unconditionally. I've now got, you know, a happy home, not a house. I now have got a job that I love that gives me job satisfaction. I now have the money I need. And it's not being about selfish and being big-headed, but manifest it, think about it, write it down, and then ask the fairies to help you. The fairies also will help look after your home. I know that you've got crystals around you because you've mentioned you've got selenite and you've got the salt lamps, but I feel there's some sort of unrest with a neighbour or some unrest with somebody nearby. Does this resonate with you?
Maybe. I'm moving into a new place. The neighbour's nice, but she's got a dog that I don't like.
Right, okay. That's what I mean by unrest. Right,
Yeah,
okay.
like she's nice and there's no like bad feeling, but I feel a bit uncomfortable because
Don't you like dogs then?
I really like dogs, but it's a big XL bully.
Right, okay.
And she lets it out and it really jumps and barks. So I do really like dogs. But
well, maybe make friends with him then.
Yeah, I've tried to. It's not so much me as well. It's more like my little girl that I'm worried about, you know.
Right, okay.
Because I know that, like, I've actually stroked the dog and it's all right, but it I don't know. It's just a bit scary. That's all.
Yeah, and the thing is, it might not attack your little girl, but it could be excited, jump on her and knock her over, and that's what you. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And of course, quite obviously, with a big dog like that, they only have to sit on your foot or sit on your lap, and they squash you almost, don't they? Let no biting. Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel the fairies can help with the unrest to do with the neighbour, so I feel they can help with the animal, with the dog. Yeah, so it's not, I don't feel that the neighbour is angry or anything like that, but like that's why they say unrest. So they didn't say you got conflict or anything with the neighbour.
Yeah, no, she's nice.
Yeah, but you know, and just say to that you're a bit. The problem is with dogs, well, and with horses, and that if you're a little bit nervous, they then think, what are you nervous of? There's somebody in the corner that's going to attack. They don't think you're nervous of the dog.
No, I'm not nervous at all. So I actually really like dogs. If it was just me there, I wouldn't be worried. But you know, it's a big dog and it comes up to the fence and it looks quite angry and stuff. So it's just more like, I don't know, I suppose my little girl, it's the type of dog it is really, but it's fine.
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, check with the neighbour first in case the dog's got diabetes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Maybe get some long treats, long stick. And if it's safe and there's a little hole or something in the fence or something, or the little daughter can say hello, whatever his name, and throw the treat over the wall and like that, and then it can associate hearing her in the garden and then getting a treat, and then he'll be thinking, oh, and be excited, right? Because the trouble is some of them are very territorial.
Yeah.
So if you're in the house, that's fine, you know, with the neighbour. But if you're next door, and it might even be that the previous people were teasing it, and they even got some water and sprayed it or something. But ask the fairies to help with this settlement, And you might find that your little daughter or your daughter, she might even sense and see the fairies around her and flashing lights and that as well. So that'd be good. But they can help, apparently. I don't know how they can help, but that's what I'm being told with this settlement to do with a neighbour. Yeah. Now, this is stop worrying about money. Yeah. Because if you see you're looking a bit dark there and you've got your back and you're thinking, how am I going to fill all these cups with money? See, do you notice your crown? You'll notice on the video your crown chakra's going. So like, she's worrying. Now, you've got to think that money is energy.
Yeah.
So money is, I don't know what you call it, it's pieces of plastic now, isn't it? It shows we're old fashioned on paper and pieces of coin. So you're going to think of money as energy, that what goes out comes in. And money is made, like the money you've paid me today, it will then pay one of my bills, it will then pay somebody else, then pay, and it goes round. So money's made about going round, not about stagnant. So if you start worrying, you're then putting negative energy towards it. And you're also then what's the word? Because you're worrying, you're then turning money into something bad rather than something good. If you then keep manifesting, like next to your bank statement, say for instance, if you put a £1 coin, you're into crystals, so if need be, get the yellow one, you know, the citrine one. That is really good to put on your, but don't put in your purse because it's dark. But if you put that on your bank statement, and what you give out comes back. If you've got a business card, put the business card down on the shelf and put a Christine, not Christine, what do you call it? A citrine around it.
Yeah.
Your crown chakra's going again. Yeah. But realise as well that they will look after you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, now 7, you've got 7 stars there. Look, I know there's one little one on its own, but 7 there, that's to do with the Pleiades. And that's to do with the 7 sisters. And you're looking up at them. Right, my crown chakra's going here. And I know it's an open question. As a little girl, did you find that you wanted to keep looking at the stars? Well, you probably don't remember.
I love the stars. I love the stars even now.
Right, okay. Because I've got you looking up at them, and they can help you. Now, I know it sounds a weird thing to say, but the 7 sisters, which is called the Pleiades, you and I, and quite a few of the spiritual people have Pleiadian guides that help them. So they've got Pleiadian guides that help you, Pleiadian guides that help me. And they came from the 7 stars, which is the Pleiades, but they're also called the 7 sisters. So I don't know if you've ever seen the cluster in the sky, and you can get an app on your phone, can't you? That you can see, where the 7 sisters are, or you can Google it and have a look and what have you. But they will help you to then be more comfortable with money, but more importantly, be comfortable with abundance. Now, it could be that they don't physically help you. There's £20, but it might be you get a tax rebate, or it might be somebody's giving away a whole load of potatoes because they've got an allotment or something like that. So they'll be able to help you with the energy of money, but not necessarily physically with money. Do you understand the difference? Yeah. So try not to worry. And I know you've got a responsibility because you said you've got a daughter. I don't know why, and I know, again, it's an open question, but I feel either you're a single mom or that you are carrying all the responsibility on your shoulders. And it might even be that you've got a boyfriend, a husband, but you're the one that's doing all the accounts. You're the one that's sorting out the bills. Are you solitary when it comes to doing that?
Yeah, I am single. So I've just got a daughter. So
yeah. Well, that's what I'm picking up, because again, I've got you solitary. That you've got no help from outside, but you have got help. Now, when I mean outside, I'm on about another human, a man or another woman, depending on who your partner is and what have you. But I feel that you're alone as far as the human being's concerned, but you're not alone, because when you've got the fairies and they love doing things for you, and the angels, even if it's not a car parking space, ask them for things. But more importantly, look to the stars, look to your past, because don't forget, with you, having that energy where you then maybe in years gone by, you was in Atlantis, you was a star person, you're not used to being logical. You're not used to computers. I know you are now. You're not used to computers. You're not used to having money. You're not used to being analytical and logical. You've always gone with what you feel. And like traditionally, a lot of spiritual people will do swaps. I mean, it just happens nowadays it's more comfortable to do money because it's easy, isn't it, to do, But the olden days, I don't know, somebody give you some fish and you'll give them a bale of hay for the cows. I don't know. But in the olden days, you used to do swaps. So this could be that you're finding that money, because it's to do with analytical, to do with numbers, you feel uncomfortable about it. And I know that you've got to be sensible because you've got bills to pay, but just trust. And I feel that this new place that you're moving into is going to awaken or open you up or give you freedom, or you're going to feel more at home than where you are now. I don't know how to explain that. And where you are now is nice, but there's just something about the new place that you're moving into that I know you could say it's a new beginning, but it's more than that. There's something, I don't know if you're going to meet somebody, if it's the neighbours around, a man, there's some sort of, not just a new life, there's a new opening, a new awakening, a new venture, if you like, coming in. And I'm looking at this rock and it's reminding me of a tent. So I don't know if you've been thinking about doing camping or if you're thinking about a pod or something like that, but there's ways for you and your daughter to go on holiday without it costing a lot of money. Yeah, because I don't know why, but I'm looking at that rock, and that rock to me looks like a tent.
Yeah.
And again, you've got money, and again, it's looking a bit dark, as if you're worrying how we're going to afford to go on holiday. But there's so many places now that you can get a pod. But if you ask, you know, for your angels, for these Pleiadian guides to help you, they'll find a way that you and your daughter can go on an inexpensive holiday where you can have fun, you know. And there's so many places that you can do that. You know, I like Wales, as you probably know, because of me, you know, just going down there quite a bit, you know, but it only takes a couple of hours in the car. All right. So that day, don't worry about holiday. And it's about making memories. And it might even be getting a tent in the garden. I know it sounds silly. Yeah. And it might even be you and your daughter sleep in the tent overnight. And I'll tell you what, she'll remember that than if you went to a hotel and walking on a beach. Or I know she'd enjoy the beach, but that'd be a bit of fun. Because I feel as well with this, with it being dark, that you've forgotten how to have fun and enjoy the simple things. And quite obviously, you've told me that you're a single mom, and a single mom, you've got to then be the masculine and the feminine. You've got to, you know, weigh the two of them up. But it's about you as well, finding out where Sophie is. Sophie's got to find herself where, you know, you've got your inner child, you having fun, you having a laughter, you know, and invariably you're too serious, you're having trouble sleeping at night, you've got your hay fever, so you feel tired, you feel absolutely shattered, you know, you don't feel like fun, but try and think about fun, and think about what's the jewellery with the shells and that as well.
Yeah.
Now I've got here a man that's got what's the word? A suit of armour, is very protective, looking after children. And this person, I feel, was your dad. Now, I don't know if your dad's still alive, if he's passed over, it doesn't really matter because of his essence. He was quite a gentle person, but quite disciplinary. Is disciplinary the right word to use? He was quite almost black and white in his views. A very, it's either this or it's either that. But he got a heart of gold, and he was only doing it as a protective, because he didn't want to get hurt. And if you feel that any not embarrassment, not a shame, that's the wrong word, but you feel like you've let him down, or you feel like you've not achieved what you wanted to achieve, this is far from it, because he's got the ball in his hands. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I've shown you the picture. Yes, I did, didn't I? He's got the ball in your hands, which is like you've got the world. And it's like, you've got the world, my child, whatever, you know. And it's up to you what you do with it. And I will be proud of you, whatever you've done. But he had problem, or has problem, saying to you, Sophie, I'm proud of you. You know, Sophie, well done. You might say it in other ways, but you only have to look in his eyes and know that you can feel it, you know, with him. But he can be very rigid, and almost like a little bit stubborn. Does this remind you of your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But it's like his heart's in the right place. And he can't help being the way he is. And it's almost as if he's got a little bit of OCD. And I'm a little bit OCD, like putting things in order and what have you. But that's his way, you know, of him then, not mechanical, but almost like showing his affection in by objects, or not so much money necessarily, because he feels sometimes it's difficult for him to then show his affection. But he does love you very much. And with me, even if he's alive or passed over, he's still the same person, you know. But he would be always watching over your shoulder. So I would talk to him. So either talk to him if he's passed over with a pendulum, or talk to him now and see if there's a way that you can then let go of this feeling of that you've underachieved. Does this ring bells with you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Now I'm going to have to ask, because I'm not this brilliant. Has he passed over, or is he still with us?
No, he's still here.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good, because that means you can talk to him rather than using a pen to get a two-way. And with your mom, is she quite soft? Is she quite what's the word? She almost lets him get away with it, or not get away with it, but sorry, I'm not picking my nose. I'm getting itchy with these these what you call it, fairies. Because I feel as well that your mom doesn't always stick up for you. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, I'm not getting into politics, and I know it's on video and all this sort of thing, but it's just that your mom knows him and understands him more, and she can see that in his heart he's very loving. And you know, and probably she doesn't help by them making up for it. I don't know. Have you got, I know again it's an open question, have you got a brother?
Yeah.
And is the brother more sensitive, whereas you're the one that's more logical?
I've got two brothers. One of them is.
No, this one is the younger one. Because if you look, it is shorter and smaller than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this younger brother, I feel often can get into trouble. I feel that in the past, he hasn't made good decisions, but he looks up to you. Yeah. And the younger brother is very sensitive and intuitive, but can be a little bit hot-headed. Does this ring bells?
He's not really, no. He's quite calm. He is sensitive. The older one is a lot more hot-headed.
Right, no, it's the younger one I'm picking up. No, and if you say he's calm, what is he like in here?
Yeah, is he like really?
Is he like a volcano that keeps a lot in and then no? Okay.
No.
Because I got here that he's got 1 foot in the water, which is emotion, which you're probably getting to know this now, and he's got 1 foot leg on the solid ground, and it's like he's got conflict going on. And there's some sort of thing that you're going to be aware of in maybe in the future, because I can see the snow on the mountain. So that's when it's got a bit cold and I don't know, not this snow, ice. This could be like November, but you're being aware of it soon, for it's maybe in November that you'll need help or help with it now, because there's some sort of fiction. He doesn't know to go with his heart, or if he doesn't know if to go with his head. But I feel because he's dressed in red, it is something that's going to explode, or something that's going to be catastrophic, is that the right word to use? And when I say November, I can't give you dates. I'm just seeing roughly when it's coldish. But I can see also that it's holding your hand.
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost like, you know, and it's almost like you're doing it more purposeful, and he's almost holding your hand reluctantly. I don't know if you can see that. And it's like you're stretching out to help him, but it's a bit reluctant to tell you the problem or tell him thing. And I don't know if it's through business, if it's moving house, if he's thinking about going across the water, in other words, going to another country or island. It could be, I don't know, or abroad. I don't know. But it's just something for you to keep an eye on now. I do feel it's your younger brother, unless your older brother is shorter than you, but I don't think it is. Your older brother's taller, isn't he?
No, my younger brother's taller, really tall. The older one is a little bit bigger than me. He's shortish.
Yeah, but to me, yeah, it's the shorter one of the two. Look, yeah. But even though you say he's calm inside, calm out, I still feel there's something bubbling. There's something not quite right, and I can't put my finger on it. And he might be, he says outwardly he's calm, I'm fine, I'm chilled out, but there's something here. So I'm just saying it as a warning.
Okay.
I mean, I ain't got a clue, and I say if I got the lottery numbers, Sophie, you and I'd be millionaires. You know what I mean? I can only give you what I've got there. Yeah. Right, you're going to have to step in soon with a disagreement with 3 people.
Okay.
You see? Because there's a brick wall, and these 3 people are stubborn, they're not changing their minds, and generally you don't like conflict, you don't like confrontation, yeah? But there's 3 people that are going to then be, what's the word, determined, stubborn, they very rigid, they don't see each other's point of view. And these 3 people, I don't know their age, don't know if it's to do with work, don't know if it's family, I don't know. it's like you've got to step in and you've got to almost be the, not warrior, but like the mother, the matriarch, or the mother one that's been more wise, more, you know, that because it doesn't involve you directly, which generally you wouldn't get mixed in, but you can give your wisdom, you can help them. Now, I don't know what month this is going to be, but it's just something that normally you don't get involved. But because you're picking up your sword and you've got your sword ready there, you sit there, it's like you've got to prepare to then help, because the three of them aren't going to move. The three of them are going to cause even more problems unless they can. You can be, what do you call it, orchestrate? Is it orchestrator? Where you get in, you know, between. But it's like you're the peacemaker. That's a better word, isn't it? Peacemaker. Yeah. So that's with three people. Oh, this is a nice one. Right, I'm going to show you there.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, this is about your white horse, which is white is to do spiritual. It's got no bridle on. It's got no saddle on. It's free. And the person, you know, I know it looks like a little boy on top.
Oh, yeah.
But it's about you being free to do what you wish to do. Because can you see the sunflowers? And remember, like I said before, if you've got something with loads of seeds, imagine all those going to seeds and how many sunflowers. And it's about you having abundance, but you feeling free and being a free spirit. And also the clouds behind you almost like represent wings. You see? Don't be influenced by other people's point of view. Be aware of keeping some things to yourself and being more of a free spirit and having confidence in your decisions. You know, and I know if you like moving to the flat or wherever you're moving to, you've got to involve other people and what have you. But sometimes people around you can be a bit too, what's the word, opinionated. And they then can make you feel a bit unsure. So it's like you being free, because this horse, which is like a spirit, you know, an animal, can go wherever it wants, because it's got no bridle on it, it's got no saddle on it, it's free. And because you've got the gold light behind you and the wings, it's like if you want to do something, I know it involves your daughter, and you have thought about it for a while and it feels right, it might be changing jobs, I don't know, or it won't be moving house, or won't be doing that. You know, it might be then, you know, building a friendship with somebody. Maybe then keep it in the early stages to yourself as you then feel more settled, rather than sharing it with too many people. I feel this could be to do with family, might be a bit judgmental, that may be another friend that's a bit judgmental. I don't know, but it's almost like I'm helping a client at the moment. I'm not giving confidential things away. Going through a divorce, but she's kept the divorce secret, because if she tells her family and friends, we should do this and should do that and should do that. Oh, I wouldn't do that. You know, they get too involved because it's very emotional, and she's in the very early stages of going to see a solicitor and that. She hasn't told a soul, and I can understand that, because you'll have other people then give you their ideas that then dissuade you from what you've thought. So it's about you having confidence. That's the word, having confidence. You're a free spirit, having confidence in what you do. Yeah. Well, sorry if I waffle, but I tried to get it across. Now, there's a young lad, not your son. There's a young lad that comes across quite grumpy. Sorry, I can show you the card. Comes across quite grumpy, a bit sulken. Not sulken, what do you call it? Sulky, bit grumpy, bit withdrawn. You know, and he's got problems maybe at school or something like that. You can help him. Can you see there that you're just listening to him? That he's very clammed up. But can you see again all the water?
Yeah. And
he's holding on to it. Now, I don't know if this is a nephew, if it is somebody's child, well, because quite often it's going to be somebody's child, but you know what I mean, a friend's child or something like that. But it's like, because of your energy, you've got a good listening ear. And this particular boy, people see him as being naughty. They've seen him being disruptive. They're seeing him as, excuse me, not being a nice child. But you can see something within him. And it's about you being able to just be there for him, allow him to open up because he feels comfortable with you, because you don't judge him. A lot of people judge this child and they straight away label him as being, you know, hard to get on with, if you like. But this particular child, I feel, might even have, do you call it Asperger's, something like that, some sort of autism, a little bit, not loads, but there's something special about this child, and it's a spiritual child. So does this resonate with you? Can you think of somebody? Or
my nephew's very withdrawn.
Right, it might be that then. It's somebody you know, and I don't know if it's related. It might be your nephew, I don't know. But I feel also that he likes nature. He likes, you know, being outside. I wish you could say that for most children, don't you? He's not particularly into computers necessarily, or which I know all kids are, but he comes into his own when he's outside. So if he's out in the garden making a den, if he's out in the garden or in Sutton Park, I don't know whereabouts you live, he might not live near Sutton Park, but it's like he comes to his own. So it's like you take him away from electrical things and you can then go sit with him in the garden, or you can then, you know, or even if you can get him to, like, because I can see like drawing or or something like that. Or like get him to open up, all right? But there's not particularly a problem, but it's like you see him different to other people. Can you see that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, this one's a bit difficult. Quite obviously, you've got a father to your daughter. I don't need to be psychic to know that. But I feel he's got a lot of disturbances around him. If he is a bit dark, I've got to be careful what I'm saying because it's on video. If he then is very draining, he's very controlling, if I may say, because I don't like that he's got the dark black bird above him. Can you see he's hanging upside down?
Yeah.
Now, if you turn it the other way around, you can see he comes across quite angelic. He comes across nice. He's got the halo. But I don't like his body language with his hands on his hips and behind him. He's very cocky. He's very self-assured. He's also like with his legs and that going, da, 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 da. I don't care. You can't touch me. Oh, but I can feel there's a protective symbol here, the pentagram. I don't know if you can see it there, look. That's protected you from him. So don't be influenced by what he says. And I know quite obviously you're going to be with him for life, not with him, but the connection with him because of your daughter. But don't be influenced or don't trust what he says. Go with your instinct, go with what you feel. Because he has got control because he's got your daughter involved with the two of you. I feel as well that often he gives you false promises. Now, I've got to be careful saying this. Is this true? It's true. Right, okay. That's why I don't always like doing it on video because but this one, I also feel he does not want you to move on. He does not want you to love anybody else. He wants to keep hold of you and keep control of you. Regardless of your daughter, I'm on about you as a person. And even though he doesn't love you, even though he might say that he's fond of you and all that sort of thing, he's got a negative influence on you which is going to prevent you from having a relationship. Yeah. What I personally would suggest is, because I don't know if you know, I'm a white witch and I do all nice things and what have you in that as well. I would suggest lighting a candle, getting his photograph. On the back of the photograph, by the way, print it off on normal paper. You've got to be careful showing this video to other people, by the way.
Oh, no, I won't. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay, that's all right. On the back of the photograph, now say on there, I now dissolve any connection with you as a partner, as a lover, as a friend. Yes, you will have with the father, but don't put that there because it'll always be your daughter's father.
Yeah.
But if you write on the back of the photograph, I now dissolve any connection from you as my partner, my lover, my friend. I now let you go and I wish you love. Now, wishing love doesn't mean I love you, but if your partner, your ex-partner, if he feels loved, he's going to attract another woman. In which case, then it's going to let you go because he loves her. He's going to have loving energy around him, so somebody else is going to fall for him, not you, and he's dissolved you. Yeah. And then on the back of the photograph, you've written that, whatever wording. Now do it in your own wording, but that you now say it's now, I now, and then burn the piece of paper with his photograph in a candle. Now, what I do is I've got like a glass, crystal fruit bowl. I put a little bit of water in because, like, again, you're getting to know water to do with the motion. I then get a tea light candle. I light the tea light in the middle of the water, if you know what I mean, so the water doesn't go over the top of it. I then write whatever I want to on there. In your case, you're going to do a photograph on a piece of paper, burn it, and then let all the fragments go into the water. Do not blow out the candle. So you'll have to make sure that you either do it early in the morning so your daughter and that doesn't mess around with the candle, or you're going to, leave it somewhere high on top of the microwave or something or whatever, where she can't touch it, and let it burn out naturally. Now, because he's quite persistent, you might need to repeat it. I don't know, but if your intention of thinking about it, you've then done something practical by printing off his photograph. You've then written what you want. And then if you want to, just before you burn it, and then of course you light the candle, before you burn it, say it out loud and let him go. Because he'll always have cords, etheric cords. I don't know if you know about etheric cords to your daughter. You're always going to have etheric cords from you and your daughter. Even if your daughter, when you die and she's 80 years old, you're still going to have cords to your 80-year-old daughter, even though you're upstairs as an angel, looking after her and what have you. And he, again, because he's the father, will always have etheric cords. That's why a lot of people that are adopted, they get a gut feeling they want to meet the mom and all this sort of thing because of the etheric cords. But if you look at him, he's got these cords, that are very dark. So he'll want to try and attach etheric cords to you directly, not through your daughter and through you, but directly, and don't let him. Because it's almost as if, I don't know if he's actually said this to you, I don't love you, but I don't want anybody else to love you. Does that resonate with you?
He's not said it, but I think that's true, yeah.
Right, okay. Well,
I know that's true.
I don't know anything about it, but that is what I'm picking up from it. And again, it's as a warning, yeah? But you are protected because you've got the pentagram. And I know a lot of people don't like the pentagram. I haven't got it here with me. A lot of people don't like the pentagram, but the pentagram is really a protective symbol. And if you do it in a circle, it's really good as a blessing and what have you as well. So it's nothing from the tales of the unexpected or, ghost horror things or whatever. It's all good, yeah? Now, I was suggesting your new garden, or if you've got a space area, I presume if you're in a flat, you've got a garden, you've got a new garden. I would suggest getting a water feature and putting it in a corner, and use that. And by the way, the water feature, you can get, solar panelled ones, or even get a bowl of water and you get that cheap one every time it sun shines and that the water spurts up. You don't need to spend a lot of money, or if you've got somebody who does electric, you know, make sure that it's, you know, whatever. But the water, I would do the water feature in the corner. I'd use this as your blessing corner where you can sit and meditate. And I know you've got the dog next door, but ask the fairies and that to help with the dog next door. But it's like you need to find a place that is yours, that is your tranquil corner, your reflection corner. What would you call it? Your haven. I don't know what, you know. But a water feature with the sound of the water is going to help you then to cleanse and recharge your batteries. Because quite obviously you go to work and you've got, well, not obviously, but you've said on the message coming from work or whatever it was, you've got your daughter, you're doing things, you're juggling around, but you need to find peace. So you need to find a place that you then can resonate with. Now, in that particular corner, I would suggest having a statue or something. You get them sort of like, you know, forgotten, like the plastic ones, whatever. Getting a statue that then resonates with you. So it could be, I don't know, it could be a dragon, it could be a Buddha, it could be an angel, it could be an animal, you know, not that you get unicorn, you can get lying down unicorn, can't you? Whatever resonates with you, to bring that energy in. And that also is a good place for you then to do any sort of like affirmations, and you can get like a large jar thing that you can light a candle in the middle of it and burn things in, and that to affirmate and keep asking for wishes. So with the fairies and angels, asking your wishes and that to go up. But I feel water feature really help you. And if you get the opportunity, have a little pond. Now, not a deep one, because you'd be worried about your daughter, but you could have a yellow, not yellow, what do you call it? A shallow pond where you've then got water as reflection. Or you could even be crafty and get sort of mirror, but I'd be worried about children falling on the mirror, so it reflects up. Because there I've got is about you having something that you can daydream in, something you can then stare into. So if you've got a pond or you've got sort of a mirror, oh, my nose is going to get, or on the wall, you can daydream into it, and then that will help you in meditation. Because often you're not thinking, you're thinking too much. You're not going to be what you feel. So if you can do more meditation, and on the website, you'll see there's a video page with loads of meditations. If you get used to my Brummie accent or whatever on there. But you know, it's about you daydreaming and tapping into your spirituality. And I know at the moment you're very hectic, but maybe something about thinking in the future about you learning crystals, learning Reiki, learning tarot cards, something like that, because that's something you can share with other people. You'd love that, and you can spread it to others, can't you? Yeah, and I can help you with that if ever in the future, and I know anybody else can as well. We're just seeing a black thing go across then. I don't know what that was. That's strange. Now, you have got a man coming into your life in the future. Now, I don't know when it is. Yeah, look what you're doing then. Look what you're doing then. Your crown chakra. Yeah, the crown chakra. That's a positive. Yeah. Now, I don't know when this person's coming in and when. He is quite a strong personality, but gentle. He's not a strong personality in the sense he's going to be father figure. He's not weak where you've got to be a mother figure to him. He is a champion. So a champion means either he's a manager, he owns his own business, he's self-sufficient. I don't know, it could be a gardener for all I know. What, you know what I mean? You know, and that is beautiful. But he's very genuine. He's very connected to spirituality. I feel also some connection to do with Archangel Michael. Now, it might be that he could be, his name's Michael. It could be that he believes in archangels. He works with Archangel Michael. I don't know. There's a connection with Michael. I also feel as well that he's very impulsive in the sense that he's got confidence, but he's not pushy. So it's impulsive. He does things and looks after you. He's good with money. He's self-sufficient. So I'm going to worry about him. I don't know if he's got his own house and what, which I presume he would do. And let's be honest, you're over 16. So whoever you're going to meet is probably going to have his own place and that anyway. But I like the way that he is balanced, he's calm, he's also loving, but he can also be business-like. So that's a good combination. You want something that's business-like that can help you, you know, look after not so much your finances, but won't take away what you've got now, will support you and your daughter, and add to the relationship rather than taking over. So he can be very loving, he can be very gentle, you know, and caring. But then when he's in business mode, he then can be, you know, like logical, but also he can be intuitive. So he's very balanced. And that's what I've got there. Now, when he's coming in, I don't know, Soph. Yeah. But if you can see his gold, so he's very genuine. He's very protective because gold is genuine. You know, and that with his reef thing, that means that he's a champion. So champion means he looks after other people. He could be a manager or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Now, when you meet him, you're going to recognise him by his eyes, not so much with his picture. Is it going a bit blurred? I can't tell.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah. But you know intuitively that you could trust him. Because the first thing is with you is trusting people, especially trusting men. And I know you might be too trusting sometimes in the past, but with this one, it's going to start off as a friendship that you feel comfortable with him, that you can trust him before it then develops further. So he's going to be frontal in the sense that you meet him, you know, you trust him. I don't know, it could be flipping egg. I don't know, not that you'd be unprofessional, this, but if you went to the bank and you thought, oh, I trust him and he's good, you know, and tell with his eyes or whatever, not this is a bank manager, but you know what I mean? It could be that you meet him in a like a work-ish, logical environment, knowing that you trust him because you feel comfortable, but then it develops into something else. It could be, I know your daughter's probably young, it could be that you meet him on the PA, is it called PA, Parents and Teachers, I don't know, Parents and Teachers, PTO, whatever it's called. You know, something like that, that you meet him as a friend, feel comfortable with it, and then it develops. Yeah? Because it's going to be full on. And you're going to like that you can take control, but it doesn't take over. And there's a big difference. You know, because the thing is, you've got your life that's getting established. I know there's different things and settles and that at the moment, but you don't want somebody to move into your life with you and your daughter and take over and you lose your identity. He's not going to do that. He's going to complement what you've got. Yeah? No, that doesn't resonate with me, that one there. I'll show you what it is.
Yeah.
No. Okay, just try another one. No, that doesn't resonate. Okay, so that's what I've got now, but I would like you to think of a question or a couple of questions you want to ask, and then we'll see what happens.
Oh gosh, questions. Well, I don't know, because we've just spoke about meeting somebody, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I would have asked you that.
But I don't know when, and I don't know his name, but it's got a connection to Archangel Michael, so maybe he's a spiritual person that works with Mark. But anyway, go on.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
Your crown chakra's going again.
I don't know. So do you, this is like not even do you do crystal courses?
Yeah, I do absolutely loads of stuff. I do crystal courses, I do mediumship courses, I do meditation courses, I do angels and spirit guides, I do past life regression. I do absolutely loads all over, you know, all over the world. And I do them like we're doing now, Zoom. But if you live locally, like if you're doing a crystal course, I can even do it like one-to-one. If I don't know whereabouts do you live?
Not too far. So I work in Sutton anyway.
Oh, right, okay.
But I live in Coleshill, so not far.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I live in Mere Green, so either you know, in Sutton or what, Mere Green, either we can do it one-to-one if you want to in the future, but that's only the Reiki courses, which is Reiki healing, the crystal course, and do one-to-one personally. But then the mediumship, you'll need a group. Also meditation, you need a group, which we do like online, like we're doing now. And what was the other one I was just thinking of? Meditation. Oh, Mystic. I've got a Mystic course coming up soon as well. Are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I am on Facebook. I don't really use it that much, but I'll look for you on there.
Okay. Well, if you got my website, is that where you got my number from?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a Mystic course coming up. I was just thinking, if you want to know about affirmations and all that, that's in September.
Okay.
I've also got a couple of other courses coming up and that as well. So it's up to you.
I'll have a look.
If you feel, drawn to anything, but you're not quite sure, just message me, because you've got my email, you've got my number, you've met me, so you know what I'm like, But if it's mediumship and that, you need other people that you can practice with, and say, meditation. But most of them are qualifications, so you can do your own right. The only one that people do for self-development and self-discovery, if you like, is the Angels and Spirit Guides, which is a psychic course.
Okay.
And that's £20 one a month, and this is the course of 6. And what I do with all my courses, if you did it one-to-one with me, or if you then, did it online, what I do is then I book the next date to coincide with you. So don't worry if you're going off on your camping holiday or anything like that. I try and keep the same people together, so I'm very flexible. All I do in my courses is book the first one, and then we can book other dates and that to, to suit you. So I'm fairly flexible like that. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. But I think with everything else, I feel like we've covered it. I don't really have any specific questions.
Oh, the other thing is as well, Soph, before you run off, is think about getting yourself a pendulum.
I've got one.
Have you? And you don't use it though, do you?
No.
Naughty girl, because I know that, because you haven't been protected, especially if you've got hay fever or dark around your head. Remember to ask for a yes, and then ask for a no, and then ask to be grounded, and ask for protection all the way around you. And do the ground and protection every single day.
Oh, really?
Really. Because as soon as you walk outside, you're mixing with other people that don't know about protecting themselves. Remember I said earlier on about you being sensitive and picking up other people's feelings? Yeah.
Okay. So I need to do that every day, the pendulum?
Yeah, every day.
What do I do? Ask for a yes, ask for a no.
Well, you already know a yes and you know. So you already know that if ever you want to ask any questions. But then just ask your pendulum in your mind. You don't need to do it out loud. Can you please relax me, or anchor me, or ground me?
Okay.
And then say, can you please put protection all the way around me in a gold bubble?
Okay.
And do that. Yeah. Ideally, you need to do it first thing in the morning and last thing at night. But if you only do it once, then that's fine. I mean, ideally twice. Or if you've had somebody who's upset you, or you've had a bad day at work, or you're going to have a bad day at work, then do it before then. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all right,
amazing. My lovely. So anything you want to know, just give me a shout. All
right.
And
Thank
you are
so
lovely.
much.
And I just hope this has really helped. But when I've got a chance to download it, I'll send it to you. All right, my lovely.
Thank
so big
you.
kisses. See you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.